Okay, next is E is level plan. So that's level plan. So for level plan, we have to first find the average demand per quarter. So for that, let's first find the sum here. That sum is 760. So sum of demand is 760. Average demand is 760 over 4, that is equal to 190, and that is per quarter. So in level plan, what we have to do is to set production rate as that average demand, 190 units per quarter. So we have we will have 4 quarters. Okay, so we have demand. Okay, 160, 180, 220, and 200. Now production is constant, 190, 190, 190, and 190. So then we have to find ending inventory. Okay, our initial inventory is 0, so we don't have to worry about the first inventory. So now we have production of 190 and demand of 160, so that will give us 30 as the ending inventory for the first quarter. For the second quarter, we start with 30, we produce 190, and the demand is 180, so ending inventory is 40. Next we start with 40, we produce 190, but the demand is 220, so we end up with 10 units. So start with 10, produce 190, demand is 200, so we end with 0. Next we have to compute the cost of the plant. Okay, so before we start computing the cost for this plant, we need to know how many workers we will need. So number of workers needed is, we are going to produce at the rate of 190 per quarter, and we already computed here the production rate per worker per quarter, which is 5.2. That's the answer to question A. So if we divide by 5.2, we will get the number of workers. And the question, I think, states to compute the values. Okay, so that is 36.5, or we will actually 36.54, so we will round it to 37 workers. Okay, and we also need the sum of ending inventories, so that will be equal to 80, and we need number of workers hired or fired. Now remember, we start with 30 workers at the beginning, so we have high number of workers hired at the very beginning. After that, we maintain the same number of workers because the production rate is constant. So number of workers hired is 37 minus 30 equal to 7, and number of workers fired is 0, of course. So now we have everything that we need to compute the total cost. Okay, so cost summary for the level plan. So we have regular wages, we have 37 workers, okay, times 4 quarters times $7,800 per worker per quarter. We computed this here. Wages per day and wages per quarter is 7,800 per worker per quarter. So that will give us the wages will be 1,154,400. Now overtime cost is 0, subcontracting cost is 0 because this is level plan. Okay. Then we have hiring cost. That is, we hired 7 workers times the hiring cost per worker is given as $350 per worker. So that value is 2,450. And firing cost is 0 because we are not firing anybody. And then inventory carrying cost. Total inventory carried over 4 quarters. We just calculated that in the previous page. $80. So that will be 80 times $100 will give you $8,000. So total cost is 1,164,850.